Well, good afternoon everybody, welcome back to The Life's Good. It's a gorgeous afternoon, although it's a little bit chilly. It's Friday, I finished work and I couldn't wait to get home and get stuck into the garden. A few jobs in the greenhouse, and I'll take you along and let's see if we can have some fun together. I just wanted to quickly show you that I'm using the potting shed today, as I've got very little room in the greenhouse. I've got my little potting tray up on the shelf and I'm actually pricking out my chilies. I know I've shown you before how to prick out plants. Just wanted to show you that the chilies that I grew from home saved seed in the kitchen, I grew those on in the greenhouse. These are my red chilies, the Pinocchio's nose as I described them, type chili, the long tapered chili. These are looking quite nice actually. I've got some lovely little plants in there. I'm pricking those out and I'm putting them into these little pots here, and I've already done those 4, and I just thought I'd show you. I wanted 10 really good ones, so I'm selecting 10 good plants from here and pricking them out into my little pots. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with the spare ones. There's some funny looking ones in there. There's some with no leaves on, some that are sort of looking a bit sort of small and spindly. I'll discard those, I think, but 10 really good plants to be pricked out will do me nicely. Well, as you can see, I've finished pricking out my peppers and chilies. I've got a nice little selection of chili plants there in those little yellow pots. They're all looking very good. And I've got a lovely selection of red bell peppers there. Again, really nice healthy little plants. I'm hoping that they will come on. These pots were not quite as small as the little yellow ones, but they'll be fine. They can stand there a bit longer. These ones, I'll probably fill those quite quickly, and I might end up having to plant them on at a later stage before they go into their final pots or wherever I end up growing them. So yeah, red peppers, red chilies, and I've got a few chili plants left over, so I'm going to ask my friends if anybody wants any. I'll ask around. If any of you guys live nearby and you want some chilies, then I'd be happy to pot those up for you and give you those for free. Really, I don't need anything for them. I got them for free. They're all for free. They were saved from produce I used in the kitchen. I saved the seed, dried it on the kitchen windowsill, and sowed that not long ago in the greenhouse. And here I have a nice selection of plants, absolutely free, and that's really, really good. Now I need to crack on and do other things this afternoon. I wanted to plant out my parsnips, and I was going to interplant those with spring onions. So I'll take you outside and show you how I go about doing that. Well, I wanted to show you what I'm doing here, and hopefully you can see me and most of what I'm doing. Because you're quite far away, I'm going to have to give you a couple of close-ups on some of the things here. Just enjoying a cup of tea to warm me up. What I'm going to do, what I'm attempting to do, is to sow some parsnips. And what I wanted to do was to intersperse them with spring onions. Now I have my spring onions here in this tray. I grew these on in the greenhouse. They're multi-sown. There's about half a dozen or more in each cell. And I'm going to put these in the ground here, but in between the parsnip seed. So I've got my seeds here. Now this was a lucky one because I purchased a packet of seeds from Wilco. These are my hollow crown parsnip. And there were actually 2 packs inside this paper envelope. So a bit of a bonus as far as I'm concerned. I've got 2 lots for the price of 1. Obviously something went wrong with their packing method. Now, just pop those back in there. I've got my little spoon to lift these plugs out with. But what I need to do is to create a straight line across here. And I'm using there's a 6-foot or so cane, 8-foot cane, I'm not sure. Just resting that across there, and that's going to give me a guide for a straight line across here. I'm just using the spoon just to cut a groove in this soil. It's quite soft, this soil, made up of compost, manure, all sorts of mulches thrown in here. Just gonna take a line across there, just approximate straight line. It's okay, you don't have to go very deep. They only need to be sown about 1/2 inch deep, do the parsnips, so you don't need a very deep trench to put them in. And as I said, hollow crown is the variety. Now I'll show you the seeds, because if I can get the packet open, they're quite flat. They're a reasonable size. Just get a bit of muck off my hand here. I'll put them in my hand. I hope they'll blow away. But can you see those? These are my parsnip seeds. Now, 1 parsnip seed per plant. And the instructions on the packet say to sow them thinly. Well, I'm intending to do that. What I want to do is to take 1 seed and pop it in there, and again another one about 4 inches away along here. So I mean, in effect, I'm planting these at 4-inch spacings. I'm trying to pick the biggest and best of the seed. I've dropped one in there, it doesn't matter. 4 to 6 inches apart. Just gonna pop one in there. Go in. There you go. They're a bit fiddly, I know. But the idea, as I said, 4 to 6 inches apart, 1 seed in there like that. And these will germinate quite well. There's a couple gone in there. It doesn't matter if you get 1 or 2. They will grow up together. They don't all germinate, to be perfectly honest, as I've shown you before in some of my sowings. Not all the seed germinate, which is par for the course with many of these. Now you see, I've got a row there now of parsnip seed. I'm going to pop these back in the packet. I'm getting up in the air. You can't see me very well, can you guys? Just pop that back in the packet. That's the leftover seed. Now what I want to do is, using my spoon and my spring onions, the intention was to take, they're coming out quite well actually, well I said that and now they're not, in between these is where I want to pop my spring onions. These are the multi-sown. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 4, actually there would have been 5, that one's caught out. There would have been about 5 in there. So I've popped those in. I'm covering the seeds either side as I go now. Again, I'm just going to pop that one out. They're a bit awkward. There we go. And pop that one in between my parsnips. Now what I'm doing, by making the hole to plant the onions, the spring onions, I'm actually pushing the soil sideways and covering the parsnip seed. So it's sort of multitasking in a way. Another name for this, I believe, is catch cropping, where you're getting 1 crop out of the ground before the 2nd crop mature. I would have liked to have done something similar with some other plants in the garden. I haven't had the chance to do that just yet. However, with things like the radishes, they will be out within a month or so, and as fast as they come out, I'll be putting something else in. But you can use radishes in between other sowings, other plants that have a long growing season. I'll just lift this one out of here. It's come out quite nicely. I've gone in there. Each of these multi-sown cells is a 24 cell tray. I put between 6 and 10, I think, seeds in each cell, and most of them, by the looks of things, have germinated quite well. And I'll be picking these where you can twist them out and take the strongest ones, the larger ones, and leave the others remaining to grow on, or you can take them out as a clump. Just put another one in here. See, I've covered the seed there and there now. And lift these out of there and pop them in there. Well, I don't know what's been going on this afternoon, guys, but my the camera has stopped working at about 7 minutes into my last recording, so you didn't see me finish planting out the spring onions and sowing all the parsnips. So just to recap, I sowed the parsnips thinly in a row, and in between each set of seeds I put out from my multi-sown tray a little clump of spring onions in between. And as I opened the hole out to put the spring onions in, I actually covered the parsnip seed either side, so doing two tasks at once there. And now we have a row of parsnips sown with some spring onion, which will be harvested a long time before the parsnips are mature, but that will create spacing for the parsnips. I want to do a few more rows. I've got a few more spring onion here to use. These are the only spring onion I've grown so far, so what I intend to do now is to sow some more seed, hopefully get a second crop of spring onions later in the season. And I've got a lot more seeds to plant out in this plot. I've got some carrots to sow. I'm going to be sowing my swede as well. I might intersperse some of these seeds with, well, certainly not the carrots, but the swede. Quite possibly I'll consider putting spring onion or radish in between each one, as a way of creating spacing, and again catch cropping. It's the terminology used for when you're getting two crops in one section of soil. So I'm going to crack on doing that, guys. I've got a few other things to take care of. Thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for coming along, and we'll see you again soon. Don't forget to subscribe if you can. That would be really nice. And I welcome any comments. If anybody's got any comments to make, please do comment on my videos. It'd be nice to have some feedback, good or bad. But it's Friday afternoon. I've got a few things to do. I'm going to relax this evening, and hopefully get back out here tomorrow and do a few more jobs. So whatever you're doing, guys, you take care. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Have fun. And we'll see you again soon on the Life's Good. Bye bye now. It's a bloody plane. Every time I switch the camera on, there's a bloody plane. Crikey.